Hey guys, it's Terenzo here. It's currently way past my bedtime, so that means I'm up browsing the internet, entertaining random thoughts that pop into my head. So if you're like me and you were growing up in the 90s, you probably remember Seinfeld. I was honestly probably too young to be watching Seinfeld, but my parents were really cool and let me watch it, and I really enjoyed the show. I feel like it's a very American favorite. If every American friend I have loves Seinfeld, and every time I bring it up to one of my foreign friends, they're like, "Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't get it." But anyway, that's beside the point. Long story short, in my early days of the internet, one thing I would always do is literally anything. It could be anything. I would type www.thething.com and go to it and see if there was a website. I won't talk about when I tried to go to www.zelda.com because you guys probably all remember what happened if you went to that site in the 90s. Anyway, for the longest time, I remembered going to Seinfeld's official website, and there were Seinfeld themed Flash games on it. I saw a video somebody posted of a Persona 4, I believe it was the official Flash game for Persona 4, and that reminded me of this, something I haven't thought about in years. So I thought I would try to find it. And so I went on Google and I found a Reddit post, which I'll show you a screenshot from here in a second, where somebody actually remembered this. So I remembered there were like 3 or 4 games, and there apparently are more, as we can see here on the side. But the one I remembered was the Marble Rye Toss, of course, after the episode where Jerry tries to throw a stolen marble rye bread up to, I believe, George on another level of a New York City building. But anyway, check this out. This is from the Reddit post. And so these were the instructions. I don't know how the guy got a screenshot from this. I would love it if this game was still playable somehow, but with the death of Flash and Macromedia Shockwave, I don't know that it's even possible unless somebody has this archive somewhere. But the idea was it was kind of like a tapper. If you've ever played tapper in the arcade kind of control scheme, you would move from each set of windows from left to right, and you would toss the marble rye as George popped out of whatever window to score points. And of course, Tim Watley's trophy and Putty's fur coat and the Commando 8 air conditioner would fall, and you would have to avoid those items while you tossed the marble rye, or you would lose a life, and then of course eventually lose the game. And you had the funny umbrella from the umbrella twirling episode, which you could pull out to block these falling items, but of course it had a cooldown on it, so you couldn't just hold it open indefinitely. Anyway, we'll click on a few of these games here and just see. Well, I'm having to use the Wayback Machine for this, so it's going to be pretty slow going, and unfortunately most of the stuff isn't going to work. I do love these old style 90s internet advertisements that are up here, advertising something called Three Kings. I don't know what that is, but yeah, this is the same thing as this Marble Rye Toss game. Gosh, the 90s on the internet, what a time to be alive. And then you had if your questions will be answered, 11 your questions will be answered using the mysterious powers of the Seinfeld magic ball. Simply type your yes or no question in the blank white box and hit the enter key, and your answer will be returned with great wisdom by one of your favorite Seinfeld characters. And see, this is just the kind of stuff that the new internet, the corporate, streamlined internet, just will never have stuff like this. Because this was like, even the professionals at this point didn't know what else to do. Like if you go to the website for your favorite show, now it's probably going to have a few clips. If it's one of the cool websites, it's probably going to have last week's episode up to watch, maybe if they're really cool about it. Maybe something about the cast and characters trailer, that's probably it. But, this was the Wild West. It was unexplored territory. They didn't know what they were doing. So they're like, yeah, Seinfeld is definitely popular enough that we should make a website for it, but we don't really know what to put on it. So they do a game about tossing marble rye and a magic 8-ball. And this game, I remember, unfortunately, it's not going to work and the picture's not going to load. Frigidaire. And this was kind of like a whack-a-mole type game where you controlled Jerry in front of his fridge. And as different members of the cast would come in, you would smack them with a spoon or a spatula, and you'd have to press like a different arrow key to slap whoever it was that came in the door. It was very, very simple, but it was really cool back in the day to actually have something like this. I've always thought a Seinfeld game would be interesting. There's some crazier licensed games out there from the 90s and 2000s, so a Seinfeld one's really not that far-fetched, if you ask me. I don't remember playing this one, and it's not able to load it. This was just a matching game. I love this. Again, I love these 90s advertisements up here for Hard Rock Cafe. Oh, this is kind of working, maybe. I don't know. But again, extremely cool here. But I just wanted to catalog this because I for the longest time, I swore it was some sort of Mandela effect. Look at this Lycos ad here. I thought it was some sort of Mandela effect type thing going on where I remembered playing these Seinfeld Flash games and they didn't really exist. But it turns out they do. If you happen to have saved these, you're coming across this video and you saved these somehow, please shoot me a message or leave a comment. I would love to play these games again and review them. I guess this one would still work since it's just like some HTML game stuff. Truly fascinating stuff. Just very interesting relic from the 90s period. And the Seinfeld games were real. They did exist. You can't get Seinfeld on the N64. That game was never printed. But you could, if you were alive and online at the right time, have played the Seinfeld games, Marble Rye Toss and Frigidaire. The rest are just kind of internet schlock. But these two were actual like flash games. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. It's way past my bedtime. If you're a Seinfeld fan, I hope you got a kick out of this. Thanks for watching, guys.